Hello and welcome to Midlife Opportunity. Sounds like a strange one. You've often heard of a midlife crisis, perhaps, but we're doing the opposite here. We're flipping it around. It's a midlife opportunity. My name is Dr. Conor, and I'm going to share with you today all about this show, where we're going with it, the concept, what we need from you, how you can get involved, and also all the interesting things that's going to happen in this show. All right. So let's just look into it for a second here. What is a midlife opportunity? Well, first off, the usual phrase that we hear growing up when we're very young and when we're in our 20s, 30s and that is midlife crisis. You know, you laugh at people that actually are buying motorbikes when they're perhaps 40, 50, even 60 years of age. Many of them are men. They look a little bit silly. We've seen them when we're very young ourselves. And then we kind of wonder about females as well. And yes, they too have midlife crisis. But it's not just these things like buying motorbikes or going out and trying new hairdos or changing your style completely, doing all the kind of things that make you look different. But it's also behavior. It's how we radically shift the way we're doing one thing or even all of our life just because of age. Or maybe things happen externally outside of our control. And so suddenly we hit our age and that's it. We're like, people refer to us and they say, hey, well, you're 40 years of age. You're 50 years of age or 45 or 60. People start saying, you're hitting this big birthday. Whereas 10 years previously, or even 5 years previously, it was, well, you're actually, now an adult, or cool, you're a quarter century old, or suddenly you're 30. Great. Your party days are over, but you can now start, promoting your future and stuff. And then all of a sudden, it's midlife crisis. What do I do? Time is running out. I'm getting older. But it doesn't have to be that way. 2 reasons I'm bringing to you today about a midlife opportunity is that 1, you have experience. Think about it. If you're 40, 45, 50, or even 60, in around those years of life, that's coming on half a century or more. That's a lot of living. That's a good thing. We tell younger people, children, if you've had some or nephews or nieces, if you see them on the street, skateboarding, doing drugs, all of these things, good and bad, you tell them, hey, what's going on here? You can do much better with your time, with your life. But so can you. And that's what I'm asking you to do right now, today. Watch and see throughout the coming weeks and months in Midlife Opportunity and see how others who've had problems in their lives have turned it around and created a crisis into an opportunity. There's an old Chinese saying with regard to the words crisis being similar to opportunity, because that's when the gun is to your head. That's when you're on the edge of the cliff. You must make a choice, a decision, and that's when it's down to you. So is it going to be for you a crisis or an opportunity? That's the first thing, your experience. Second thing I'm talking about here is awareness. Now, often you hear the term awareness, and it's been thrown around many times over the last few years with regard to, hey, it's fluffy. It's crazy. It's like something you can't quantify, you can't measure. But if you look at the great yogis over 5,000 years, over 1.4 billion people in India, where yoga comes from, they will tell you the point of all different yogas and all these mad, crazy contortions of the body are in order to reach one thing, awareness. Now, there's a lot of research out there, but if you have research that's 5,000 years old with 1.4 billion people, that's like a quarter of the world's population. Well, that's pretty good. And that word awareness is what they've come to. So keep your experience tight. Keep your awareness tight, because for now, I'm going to say to you, my friend, keep watching. Come to the midlife opportunity. And if you want to talk to me, if you want to be interviewed on this show, just get in touch at Connor@docconor.com, or check out the website, midlifeopportunity.show, or check me out, Doc Conor or Dr. Conor Hogan, on all the social media, all the usual ones, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc. Okay, my friend? So what I want you to do right now is take the opportunity to come back right after this break, where we'll be talking about how experience and awareness has come to many famous people. And so it can come to you too. So we'll be right back after this.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text to emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
So welcome back to Midlife Opportunity, where crisis is no longer with you. Because for you, my friend, this is your opportunity to keep watching, to keep learning, to keep hopefully being entertained by me, a middle-aged man, and also my name, Dr. Conor Hogan. So who am I? I've started the show telling you all about things you probably already know about being in midlife. But let me tell you about me. First of all, you might be wondering a little bit about my strange or funny or peculiar accent. In fact, you might be wondering, why isn't there like subtitles? In fact, why isn't there big capital letter subtitles? Because I don't understand anything this guy is saying. And that's okay. Because I'm from a minority land called Ireland, the green fields of Ireland. And in fact, right now, I'm broadcasting to you and my friends across the Atlantic Ocean from the west of Ireland. So I'm about 500 meters away from the water side. Next stop, New York City, baby. So maybe I'm actually closer than a lot of you viewers. And that's fantastic for me, because this is the thing about midlife. We can now connect where previous generations were not able to connect in this way. You can connect with anybody all around the world. And that's an opportunity right there for you. So you can connect with me over here and come on this show, for example. All you got to do is email me, Connor@docconor.com, or check out our website, midlifeopportunity.show. Check me out also on all the social media handles, Doc Conor, D-O-C, space C-O-N-O-R, or Dr. Conor Hogan. So who is Dr. Conor? Who am I? Well, I'm born here in Ireland. And believe it or not, my first time that I went stateside was when I was 20 years of age. And I learned a lot about different cultures right then. But things that happened to me, and you'll see in the background here, that there's kind of colors and like cards. They're kind of similar to baseball cards. But in fact, they're our native sports here in Ireland. And I was playing a lot of sport when I was very younger. And I was very athletic, big, tall guy, 6'4", and played beyond my years with the adult teams when I was a teenager. But unfortunately, I got injured. Now, at that time, I was so into performing at the highest level. I played with top teams in my level in the country. I was representing a very, very, very high level. And so the future was bright until injury struck, late teens. That was it for me. Nobody could, not even medics could figure out what was wrong with me physically. So I went looking and searching and researching. And what did I find? Brick walls, no opportunities, nothing around me. Until eventually I discovered different things that could help me that were a little bit on the alternative path. And now they call it complementary. It complements the medical. So I helped myself get back playing sport, albeit at a later time in life, and doing crazy things like marathons and so on when I was a little bit older, 40 plus, you know it. So there's opportunities out there. There's not only a brick wall out there for you. And then where did I get the doctor part? Well, I became a teacher when I was very young, just out of college. And from there, I was helping people. I was teaching at elementary and also high school. I qualified in both, in fact. And then it led me to special needs teaching with regard to higher order learners and also people that had challenges in their learning. So the neurological stuff, the psychological stuff became really intriguing to me. And that's where I started thinking about my sporting past and all of the time I was spending, my spare time that is, in the sporting avenues with regard to my friends, going to their games, with regard to watching the highest performers out there and so on. And as I was studying outside the 9 to 4 or 5 in the evening and trying to really further myself, I continued to do more degrees and I ended up as Dr. Conor Hope because I put all my learning from what was going on in the school, in the special needs, in the neurologically developed or challenged more so, and undeveloped people, and also those psychological problems that people had, and also the education and social issues that they had. And I put it all together in my head and thought, well, you know what? I'm doing all of this high performance work myself now. I'm getting myself physically better. And I realized how my mind was changing as well and how more opportunities were coming rather than issues and problems, and certainly not crisis. And so I put it all together and I started improving and helping other people in other ways, from the lower echelons, the lower part of where they were having problems, right up to the very top of higher performance. Now, one such guy is Ian Hill, and he's a great guy. He's been on this fantastic NGBN, and he will be on it. In fact, right now, I'm helping him with his higher performance, his mental performance, in going for a world record. He has done a world record before. This is a guy who's 56 years of age. So there's opportunities out there. We just need to grasp them. We need to find what is going on right now in your life so that you can help yourself and allow me to help you help yourself through this show, The Midlife Opportunity. It's interesting. There's different areas of your life that can go wrong at midlife. One such thing I was actually just reading yesterday. This is crazy. And it just shows you the difference perhaps between Ireland, Europe, and the US. But it was about an article in the newspaper, the national newspaper, about dating. And the headline was from this dating coach, a female. And her headline was something along the lines of, men just want a place to live after 50. So reading into the article a little bit, it was all about how men were looking at things from an economic point of view rather than from a romantic or connectivity point of view. And they were like, I just need a place to stay. This was a report and the specifics from this female. Now, that could be the case in the people that she's dealt with. Or it may not be for you. It might be. This is the point. If you are of a certain age, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you really wonder how can you get yourself maybe into a relationship or into another area of life, improve yourself from potential crisis, or if you're stuck after a pandemic, many people are stuck in any area of your life, then you can contact me at Conor.com or midlifeopportunity.show. Another guy I know, believe it or not, he's the same age as me. He went to school with me. Now, picture this. There was like 30 odd people, girls and boys, in the classroom when we were in elementary school. I was the captain of the team. As I said before, I was sporty, I was tall, athletic. This guy was just as tall as me, but he was wide. He was heavy. He was so overweight. You wouldn't believe it. He was the only guy in 3 classrooms, and we were the biggest school in the region. And he was the only guy that was overweight. I remember his stomach used to collapse over his belt and out through his jumper, out through his sweatshirt. It's crazy. He didn't play sport. He wasn't fit. He was unhealthy. So what happened then? Well, believe it or not, even all of those people, including myself, who was the athletic guy and was the captain of this team, none of us played, professional sport, but he did. He was the only one that actually played professional sport. Throughout his late teens and then into his 20s and 30s, he was a professional rugby player. Okay, not American football or the NFL, but he played professional sport. And then he retired and he was like, what do I do next? Mid-30s, late 30s. Crisis, perhaps. Going towards 40. What do I do now? And what did he do? Well, he became an adventurer. And I've covered him on my media in the past. And right now, as we speak, he is going from the west of Ireland, where I am, right over to the USA on a rowboat. I kid you not. And it's the second time he's doing it. He's done it before. And he's doing it now with a friend of his, an old rugby pal, an old player that he played with. But unfortunately, last I heard, the guy that he was rowing with, he thought it'd be half the effort to get across the Atlantic Ocean because his friend was with him. But his friend got ill and had to be taken off the boat. So he's right now on the sea on his own. He's grasping life by the things between our legs. He's seeing a midlife opportunity. For now, my friend, I'm going to ask you to continue with the opportunity and join us after the break when we'll be discussing more about how you can turn a crisis into a midlife opportunity.
This is what too much sounds like. This is what stress feels like. And this is what help feels like. If you've lost a job, worry about your next meal, or have trouble making it through the day, we can help. Text STRESS to 211211 to find a solution.
Welcome back to Midlife Opportunity, where crisis, well, it's just not here because you have the opportunity to take this midlife opportunity. You're alive. You have experience. You have awareness now. Hey, what have I been doing in the past? I'm looking at this show right now and I'm going, there is an opportunity. I can improve. Yes, you can. And in these last few minutes of today's opening show, I'm giving you the opportunity to come on, to talk with me. If you have the biggest problem and you have the smallest dream, that's okay. You can come on. I'll help you get from the problem to the dream. If you have the smallest problem and the biggest dream and you can't figure a way to get through to that big dream, come on. Come here. Let's discuss it. Let's figure it out together. This is what we're going to do on this show. In the next episode, I'm actually going to talk with a very successful man, but he's going to, well, I'm going to try and pry him open, figure out where the opportunities are, where the problems have been in his life, and to where he has now got to be successful. Because not everybody starts with a silver spoon in their mouth. Some people have challenges. You might be listening and watching this and going, God, there's some aspect of my life. I mentioned dating already. It could be that one. It could be your relationship that you're currently in that's like a bit rocky. It could be economic times, cost of living, who knows? It could be your job. You just hate it. It could be that all of those things together are fantastic, but your health is like, I don't know. It's just, I'm not the same guy. I'm stiffer. I'm slower. I look differently. A quick one on that. A guy I know, fantastic guy, unbelievable speaker. I went to a seminar of him a few years ago. He would just educate you to the last. But he also had a problem with regard to being overweight. And he told me afterwards that it wasn't until one day he looked in the mirror straight on and then looked to the side where there was a kind of a reflection in another mirror, a window, and he could see this huge big stomach. And he was overweight, well overweight. He did not see that. And that's going back to the awareness I was talking about earlier on. So something like weight is very obvious. We can see it, perhaps, or others tell us, or they should, but maybe they don't in this PC society. Maybe you just feel different and you want to feel the luster of being young, that effervescence, that energy. So let's talk about it. Come on, and let's talk about it. I'd love to hear from you. I sincerely would, here on Midlife Opportunity. Because honestly, there's people out there that have been in the dumps and they're celebrities and they're now powerful. One such one, and here's the takeaway for today, is a guy called Robbie Coltrane. And he kind of summed it up really good for me. What is a midlife crisis versus an opportunity? And he said, basically, to the words of, it's something you kind of realize when you get to that age of midlife that you perhaps fear that your best is right behind you. Your 20s, your 30s, your late teens, your 40s maybe, and you're into your 50s now and 60s. And that's it. But the science is clear out there that we as humans in this generation can live much older. Okay? There's a lot saying that we can go to 100 and beyond. But you need to do the right things. And one of those right things is come back to the next episode on ngbn.tv. Because here we're going to give you the opportunity to have a midlife, opportunity again, rather than a crisis. So that's one celebrity. You might say that's easy for them, but let me tell you today, before I started this show, I heard really bad news, terrible news, of a man who was just Easter gone, 2-3 months ago, climbing a mountain, feeling fit and on the top of the world, celebrating his 60th birthday. And I heard this morning he passed away. Now that's life, as they say. So what's it going to be for you, my friend? Are you going to contact me? Conor at docconor.com or midlifeopportunity.show or all my social media handles on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, etc. Reach out. Come to me. Let's have a conversation. Even if you don't want to go on, just tell me a story. Tell me something that's interesting. Let's share and help other people, other men out there, so they too can have a midlife opportunity. Until next time, thank you for watching, and please go to midlifeopportunity.show and give me an email, Conor at docconor.com. And there you will have a midlife opportunity for you. Have a great day, and as we say here in Ireland, slán, bye-bye.